This is the next slide will give us the real representation of how we should view the SDGs. Now the SDGs, this is how we should view it. So if we have it as categorized into three categories, we have the biosphere representing the earth or planet, we have society representing people, and then we have the economy representing prosperity. Before it used to be the other way around. Now we see that this is the bedrock. The SDG 1346, 1314, and 15. That is clean water, life on land, life underwater, climate change. These are the bedrock of development. If we don't get this right, then our human index, the human development index that we are looking at, will never get it right. And that is when all of this thing is taken care of, that is when you talk about the society, where you talk about no poverty, no hunger, good education, good health, and so on. And then you talk about economy, where you have equality, where you have industrial growth, where you have industrialization, and so on. And that is how we should view it. If we miss anything at all, this should be our take-home message today. So when we restore the ecosystem, we are also trying to develop human capacity, human capital, our well-being. Because the success of the SDGs largely depend on our ecosystem, a healthy and thriving, a functional ecosystem. Because if our ecosystem are not functional, they will run into problems. And in all of this, we have partnership, which is very important. We cannot do it alone. And that is why we have various partners coming together so that we will be able to do it. As big as NCF is, as 40 and so years that we have been doing this in this business of trying to raise people's consciousness about the environment, we cannot still do it alone. We can only do it with partnership, and partnership that does not leave anybody behind. So we must move together and continue to see what we can do together as a people. So my next slide just gives a graphical illustration of what it can be. Because this is an ideal ecosystem where you have the different SDGs placed in different areas, where you have the forest looking at climate change, and also you have life on land, life under water, and different things, and you have the different SDGs spread together so that we all will have an idea of what this is all about. We need to think about ecosystem restoration, not in isolation of our well-being. We need to look at it as our well-being. Now, as NCF, you wonder, we try to do our own bits. We try to walk our talk. My next slide is going to tell us NCF's contribution, and I'm now collapsing the two presentations I have. What's our contribution so far to ecosystem restoration? So in response to the regulation of our ecosystem, especially the forest ecosystem in Nigeria, when the DG was talking, he talked about planting trees, planting the right trees. And it's very important. And that is because you need a system. The trees will not just be on their own. The trees are food. Their seeds are food to some birds or some insects or some animals so that they feed on them. But if you don't plant the right trees, the animals won't be able to feed on that tree. And that is why it's important. Because as animals feed on that tree, the animals that feed on that tree or the birds that feed on that tree, they take the seeds of that tree and take it to another place and disperse it, and they plant it there. You think that the trees normally move by their legs to go and, I believe mangoes, we normally eat mangoes and so on, so we humans, we help in distributing them. What about other trees? Other animals and birds are the ones that distribute their seeds everywhere. So, but if they are not able to feed on that tree, then definitely that tree will not be able to be a part of that system. So we need Nigeria. Yes, we have to withdraw it because of what is happening. We are losing arable lands in the north. We are losing our lands in the south because of coastal erosion, and it's happening very fast. And it's happening very fast. And we need to bring people's consciousness to that. And that is why we christened that restoring the mangrove and reclaiming the desert. 2019, we followed it very closely with Green Recovery Nigeria, New Deal for Nature, and for people, so that we continue to create awareness. Whatever deal we do for nature, we're actually not doing it directly for nature. Eventually, the final beneficiaries, in the final analysis, humans are the ones who have to benefit from it. So that's why the pandemic last year, we went all out to do what we want to do, to plant millions of trees with the help of the federal government and other partners. Next slide. So we planted trees. Next slide, please. We planted trees as diverse in at least 16 states. Over 1 million tree seedlings in at least 16 states. In Anambra, in Anambra, in Jigawa, in Nasarawa, that's in Kefi, that's the area of Kefi. We planted in Jos. We planted as far as the desert, that is Kafka, in Yobe State. We planted in Ogun State. We planted in Sokoto. And we planted even in the mangrove in Bakassi local government. We are everywhere. We spread our wings everywhere so that we will be able to restore as the little we can do. But we can do more with more partnership from everybody, from you who is seated here, from your organization, and from all of us. Let us put hands together and restore our planet. So only when we restore our planet, then we will have sustainable cities, then we will have the prosperity that you and I are looking at for. Next slide. So we call on all partners to partner with us to ensure that the ecosystem is restored. So we can do more with more partners, as I said earlier, without leaving anyone behind. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Joseph Onoja. Never disappoints. All right, so I believe that even if we don't know anything about eco-restoration, we've been properly schooled, so to say. And if we have knowledge has been added, we have been better off by listening to Dr. Joseph Onoja. A round of applause once again, please. So before we have second presentation, we'll go, please, we need to do the spoken words. But before I do that, I also want to recognize some of our sponsors. Their representatives are around. IHS Nigeria, we have Jemima Okonlawon representing them. Jemima, you are welcome. All right, thank you. We also have NCF member, one of the NCF member, corporate member is present. The Keystone Bank is represented by Olaiton Ladigbolu. Where are you? All right, thank you for joining us. So before we have activities of ecosystem restoration by NCF, we have the spoken word rendition by Rere Loluwa Oketola. Enjoy.
Voice, I am man. Save me. Your life depends on me. If I die, you die. So also all the living things. No! I am supreme. I am powerful, strong, and intelligent. I am wise in the voice. I am man. Cut it down. Cut the trees down. Split it to make furnitures, burn it and cook. There are plenty and cannot be emptied. No, don't cut it. Don't kill the earth. The earth cries each day through signs of global warming. All of us see it, feel the signs, but few access to the price. It is essential and valuable than just to make food and furnitures. Only when the last tree has died, the river poison, and the last fish is caught before we realize we cannot eat money. Imagine if trees gave Wi-Fi signal. We'll have been planting so many trees to get more, but too bad. They provide the oxygen we breathe, and we don't care. Let us nurture the nature so we can have a better future. Nature is our treasure. Let us save it by planting trees. Be a part of the solution, not part of the pollution. A nation that destroys its soil destroys itself.
Reporting in progress.
Okay, thank you, DJ. So we'll move on. I understand that the second presentation has been integrated in the first presentation. To make it very brief, because after now we are still going for tree planting, and we don't want you to spend the whole day at LCC. So thank you, Dr. Joseph, for that wisdom. So we will be taking remarks from our sponsors, and thereafter we'll give room for question and comments for those of us who have something to share or want to clarify. So first on the list is the representative of Dangote Group, that is here present, Mrs. Ingrid Niat, the Group HR. Please come. Thank you. A round of applause, please.
Good morning. So good morning, Dr. Mutari Aminukano, DG NCF, fellow sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to be here today and say a few words on behalf of the executive management and staff of the Dangote Group. So Dangote Industries Limited and its subsidiaries take environmental sustainability very seriously. We understand the critical importance of preserving the well-being of the environment and the need to support the global effort of combating global warming and climate change. So we are glad to be partnering with the Nigerian Conservation Foundation to deliver on the theme of this year's World Environmental Day, which is ecosystem restoration. In the last few days, Dangote employee volunteers with the team from the Nigerian Conservation Foundation have visited 10 schools in Lagos, planting trees and educating the students on the importance of trees in our ecosystems and the roles they can play in supporting environmental sustainability. We are not just planting these trees. The Nigerian Conservation Foundation has committed to supporting us in nurturing them to full maturity. Thank you. Interestingly too, in addition to their ecosystem value, all the trees being planted in these schools are also edible fruits. As a responsible business, we remain committed to supporting ecosystems restoration and ensuring positive environmental impact in our business operations. Thank you all and stay well.
All right. Thank you. Like people used to say, Mufelo will be Dangote. So a round of applause for Dangote, please. Dangote is our own. All right, so we also take a remark from the representative of FCMB, Mr. Omoni Inyoda. You're welcome, please. Let us appreciate him.
Good morning, everyone. All protocols duly observed. Dr. I hope I got the name very well. Just pardon me. Thank you very much for the very good job that you do here. For the few years that FCMB had been in partnership with the NCF, it's been a tremendous experience. Students here, we're glad that we are bringing a new narrative to preserving our environment. If the present or the past generation have done a whole lot of damage to the environment, I think we are all thinking in the right way in bringing a change towards preserving our environment. I'm privileged this morning to stand on behalf of my good head, Mr. General Lojo, and then I have a brief message from FCMB. On behalf of the management and staff of FCMB, it's our pleasure to welcome you to, of course, this beautiful location, which forms part of the bank's activities to commemorate the World Environment Day 2021, one of the most significant days across the globe. We are especially proud to welcome and congratulate the distinguished personalities here present for their noble contributions towards protecting the environment and restoring the balance of the ecosystem to make it condition for human and business survival. The annual World Environment Day is one of the principal vehicles through which the United Nations stimulates worldwide awareness of the environment and climate issues. It also serves as an opportunity to remind humanity of the need to protect the environment, as well as encourage responsible conduct by communities, enterprise, and individuals in preserving and enhancing our environment. It is worthy to mention that under the FCMB CSR activity philosophy, we have maintained active participation in the World Environment Day celebration. We do this by organizing and hosting various educative programs in partnership with Nigerian Conservation Foundation and other stakeholders. Yes, as we are aware, the theme of the year's World Environment Day is ecosystem restoration. As the name suggests, ecosystem restoration refers to preventing, halting, and reversing the damage caused by mankind. This year's World Environment Day will, of course, kickstart the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration 2021 to 2030 to revive hectares of land from forest to farmland, from top of the mountains to depth of the sea. The UN Decade is also aiming to massively scale up the restoration of degraded and destroyed ecosystems to prevent the loss of 1 million species and enhance food security. However, the restoration of the ecosystem can only happen with measures including planting of trees, greening our cities, cleaning up rivers, coasts, and rewilding gardens. The ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has reminded mankind of harm we have caused to nature and how important it is to protect our environment. At FCMB, we are aware that climate change is one of the defendant issues of our generation, threatening the existence and development of humanity and businesses. In Nigeria, the devastating effects of the climate change are being felt through the degradation, deforestation, drought, flood, high temperature, migration, low agricultural output, unemployment, among other negative effects. This limits opportunities for human and business growth, which is why we are committed to playing an active role which addresses challenges as one of the major contributors to the development of Nigeria. For WEG 2021, we have mobilized our staff, hundreds of students and young Nigerians nationwide to plant trees in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. As part of our global exercise, we also help form part of our employee volunteering scheme, which go a long way towards restoring the balance of the ecosystem and improving across our host communities. FCMB has over the years driven and offered significant support to initiatives that would ensure environmental protection and sustainability. The bank executes this through robust policies and procedures embedded in its social and environmental management system, our SENS. Among the several intervention and support championed and executed by the bank are the following. Of course, we do corporate recycling projects through waste generated by the bank at the head office and branches nationwide. Of course, more than 100 branches of FCMB nationwide run on solar power. This has drastically reduced carbon emissions and helped to create a cleaner environment while delivering uninterrupted and real-time services to its esteemed customers. We have gone a step further by unveiling a plan to fully upskill our solar power systems in branches in Nigeria by 2025, as well reduce cost of consumables by 75% through the constant improvement in the automation of our operation procedures. I have a long assignment here. We look forward to more opportunities and collaboration to serve humanity and environment better. Thank you for your presence and attention. Thank you. Thank you.
FCMB has been a friend of the house for years. So if you allow them, they will say so much about environment and activities. So a round of applause for FCMB, please. So this session perhaps is the session of the banks. So you can take another bank who's also sponsor of this event, has been a friend of the house, the representative of Union Bank, represented by. So please, let's have the representative of Union Bank that is represented by Abiola Bia. Can we have your presentation, please? A round of applause, please.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, NCF, for having us today. We're very excited to be working closely with the NCF to commemorate World Environment Day this year. At Union Bank, environmental responsibility and conservation is very important to us. And this year, we decided that we should do more with our partnership with the NCF. We've been members for years. So this year, we're very excited to be taking our employee volunteers out to be part of the tree planting exercise in line with this year's theme. It's all about taking action, and we don't take that for granted. So starting next week, we'll be going out, visiting schools, educating the students, and planting trees. Thank you again for having us.
All right. Thank you. She's decided to keep it very short. We appreciate you. So perhaps I'm reserving the best for the last. So to say, we have an organization that is also non-profit making, like NGO. So most of the time when they are somewhere, you may not notice them that they are around, but they are actually around, and they are doing a lot behind the scene. So we'll be taking a remark from Soroptimist International Ikoyi, that is represented by Bibiana CMO. Please, a round of applause, please.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Would like to appreciate the DG, Dr. Aminu Mukhtar, and every other person here today. Thank you for taking out time. I'm here with my team, my immediate past national president, Boss Emidan Jack. I'm also here with the secretary of the Ikoyi, Mrs. Orichema Tosan Edode Emore, and also with Best Sister Joke Adeshite. Thank you for coming with me and supporting me. Okay, so I would like to appreciate everyone today for taking out time to be at this event. Thank you so much. Your presence here means that you are lovers of the environment and enthusiastic about environmental conservation. We are from Soroptimist International, Ikoyi. Soroptimist International is a worldwide non-governmental organization. Like he said, we are quiet, but we are doing mighty things. We seek to improve the lives of women and girls through our Educate, Empower, and Enable program, which we call the 3 E's. Soroptimist International is also interested in the environment and seeks ways to help improve our planet by planting trees, teaching women to grow gardens, and also supporting women to take up recycling as a means of financial empowerment. Soroptimist International was founded in 1921. We exist in 121 countries. We have 5 federations within Africa, Great Britain and Ireland, Europe, and the Americas. We also have in Southwest Pacific. We have representation at the United Nations. This year, Soroptimist International is built to celebrate her 100th year anniversary come October. So we're 100 years old this year. We are very excited about the work that Nigeria Conservation Foundation is doing in the area of environmental conservation. Environmental conservation is a very, very difficult path to follow because somehow human beings believe that the universe belongs to them alone. That is not true. The universe belongs to every living and non-living creature. We must therefore use the planet in a way that gives consideration to every creature, living and non-living. When we are careless in the ways in which we handle the environment, we cause an imbalance, which results in environmental problems like flood, desertification, contaminated rivers and seas, extinction of plants and animals, air pollution, and a lot more. As this year's theme clearly states, we have to begin to think ecosystem restoration. We cannot turn back the times, but we can grow trees, increase green areas in our cities, grow more gardens around our homes, clean up our rivers and coasts, reduce the use of plastic, and seek more effective ways of recycling. Finally, we must keep in mind the fact that as human beings, we are responsible for a better planet. The onus of ecosystem restoration lies with us. Thank you very much. Let's begin to reimagine, recreate, and restore the planet. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that wonderful presentation. So we are rounding up soonest, but we'd like to take comments or contribution from the audience. Comment, contribution, questions from the audience before we call it a day. Anyone? Can we get an extra mic? If you have a question, even the students, I want you to be bold to ask question, make contribution. Anyone having question or contribution to make before we round up? Yes, please. Can you have a second stay with him, with Dr. Joseph? He will answer all the questions. All right, Dr. Joseph, you can ask your question before I take more questions. You can give answer, please.
We saw that gap and we have scaled up our approach. We started with advocacy because whatever we do, we have to start with advocacy with the policy makers and so on. And that was why in 2018 we had a workshop where we brought all the marine stakeholders together, from oil companies to academics to different stakeholders, even the shippers as well, on how we can conserve our marine environment. And one of our advocacy led to the recent declaration of the federal government of a marine. We're hoping to have the first marine protected area in Nigeria. So we are working very closely with the national parks to ensure that that flies. And we continue to conserve our marine ecosystem as well. And also encourage marine biologists, because there are a lot of things about the marine that we do not know. And we're also helping, we're also trying to see how we can bring that to fore. So marine ecosystem is surely in our radar, and we are working as to ensure that part is protected as well. And especially in Nigeria, that our marine ecosystem is under serious threat and degradation from the activities the oil companies and other activities as well. And the second question talked about wetlands. We, as NCF, we try to grab, or put it that way, as much as we can, but we don't own land, and that is why we work very closely with the Lagos State government to ensure that we try to protect as many wetlands as we can, and that's why we scale up our advocacy. But so that people will know that these areas are not wastelands; they are actually wetlands. And that is why we celebrate every year, the 2nd of February, is known as the World International Wetlands Day. We celebrate that, we call awareness to people that they should look at wetlands, not just for their flood retention capacity, but also for the biodiversity that dwells in wetlands as well. They are very important, and we continue to scale that awareness that they will be aware of. Because we are also concerned that before you know it, everywhere is being sandfilled. Even by the side of the lagoon also is being sandfilled as well. Erroneously, that when you sandfill the place, you're actually absorbing the water, not knowing that you're actually just displacing the water, and water never forgets level. When it's time, it will come back, and that's exactly what happened with Lekki, because Lekki is a large wetlands that was sandfilled over the years. So we continue to create that awareness, and nature is also
NCF for all that you do. I'm very passionate and I do a lot of gardening every day. But what are you doing about making sure a lot of Nigerians become, how will I put it, gardeners? We can create a very active gardening community in this country. I love what has happened in Rwanda. Can we not do that here? So that everywhere you turn, you see gardens. Can we not make Nigeria one huge garden? I would like to work with you in whatever capacity because I'm passionate about plants and I've been gardening since age 2. And I want to see little children pick up gardening, you know. The benefits are enormous. Thank you very much.
all right. Thank you very much for that. It's something that we have noted, and we are also encouraging it. Most of our schools have gardens now in their schools, and we are trying to encourage the little children, school conservation clubs as part of the activities to pick that up. In fact, we want this to remember Lagos will be a huge garden at the end of the day. Even the cities will be a huge garden where you have structures built in such a way that you can have plants all over the place because it's part of the sustainability of the city. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, NCF, for what you are doing. Thank you, Dr. Hamino. I bring you greetings from Impact Nigeria Limited and vision.
Please, you can give me the digital response.
Okay, yeah, we work very closely with the Lagos State government. In fact, we, as Lagos State Ministry, we have 2 ministries in Lagos State that we normally partner with. The Ministry of Tourism and Culture and the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources. Now, under the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources, we have agencies like LASEPA, as you mentioned, and LASPAC, which we work very closely with. Yeah, we work closely with LASEPA. In fact, last year's World Environment Day, LASEPA actually celebrated theirs here. So that's how show how closely we work. And we normally talk with them on some of the areas that they also will improve on their regulatory that normally provide for the states. So we work very closely with them, and not just LASEPA, with LASPAC as well. We are even looking at the possibilities of taking over some of their gardens, some of the green spaces we have in Lagos, so that we'll be able to manage it well for them the way we are managing this place and so on. So we have a very close relationship with the Lagos State government in that regard.
All right. Thank you. After him, we will take
All protocol to be observed. My name is Comedy Fubi from the High School. I commend the NCF for the job they are doing. My own is not a question, but just a commendation and suggestion. Mr. Dr. Onuja has made me to know that nature is life and nature is everything. But in growing up in a rural area, the rate of deforestation in rural area is alarming. I urge you, please, to take this information to the rural area. We should not only pass the information to the city only. We should extend it to the rural area. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that comment. It's interesting to note that most of our work is actually, even at we have more work at the rural areas than in urban areas, because we know that is where some of those things originate from. And it's very important for them because their livelihood depends on these things. Their livelihood depends directly on the environment, so they are the first impacted. They are the most vulnerable. And that is why they need to really know the impact of this directly to them. So we're working very closely with them. Thank you very much for that.
All right, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. All protocols to be observed. I'm Busola Biadewale, representing Eco Restoration Foundation. And it's really resourceful to be here. What I want to chip in is that what we do as Eco Restoration Foundation, we are into wetland conservation. And even currently, we have 70 hectares of mangrove in the Lake, which we know is the game changer. Where we have the game changer, now we have the Dangote refinery and the Lekki seaport. So I think I'm glad about this update and everything NCF is doing. And I see a foster partnership with NCF, because eventually in the next 10 years, I can see it as a place where nature will be degraded if proper steps are not taken to conserve the natural and wetland resources we have in the Lake. So as the Restoration Foundation, we are coming in to partner with you, and we are also glad that we have this community. Even that we also envisage to have a research center, because people just know mangroves as mangroves. People don't know the importance of mangroves. We want to have a literacy center to educate people. We want people to come and make research to know what we can use these resources for. And I'm so glad to have a future or a partner in this. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. So we'll be rounding up. Please, we want to announce to us that some selected people will join us for the tree planting in schools at Jabadore area, but others, you can do a tour of the Lekki Conservation Center. If you still have the time, you can go into the reserve to enjoy nature as it were. We are sitting on 78 hectares of land, so we want you to enjoy nature. So we have a student finally. A student, yes, please, let's allow a student to ask. Right in front here, the guy is good.
Fear is not a good thing. It's not a good thing. I thank NCF for what they are doing. I have a question, and my question goes this way. Why is it that anytime rain falls, there's always flood everywhere? Aren't they doing it in this country, Nigeria? We need to make Nigeria a better place. Why is it so that when rain falls, we have flood everywhere?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that.
Save me. Your life depends on me. If I die, you die. So also all the living things. No! I am supreme. I am powerful, strong, and intelligent. I am wise and device. I am man. Cut it down. Cut the trees down. Split it to make furniture. Burn it and cook. There are plenty and cannot be emptied. No. Don't cut it. Don't kill the earth. The earth cries each day through signs of global warming. All of us see it, feel the signs, but few hearkens to the price. It is essential and valuable than just to make food and furniture. Have a better future. Nature is our treasure. Let us save it by planting trees. They are part of the solution, not part of the pollution. A nation that destroys its soil destroys itself.